Hello, it's Colleen Pilar again. I'm the host of Unleashed at Work and Home, the author of 3 books about dog behavior, as well as a coach trained in the science of helping humans thrive. I'm so glad you're joining me here for the 3rd video in my free workshop, Resilience 101, helping pet professionals quickly manage stress and find more joy so that you can continue making a difference without burning yourself out. In this video, I'm going to share the exact blueprint you need to examine and reframe your thoughts for greater productivity and more peace of mind. If you've ever been confused about how all of the pieces of resilience fit together, or more important, how to create lasting resilience so that the changes you make stick, then this video is for you. In video 1, we talked about your brain's wiring and how it can get in the way of you being able to feel your best at work and then being able to fully detach when you get home. In video 2, we covered the first step for rewiring your brain so that you can learn how to navigate your emotions better. So if you haven't seen those 2 videos, go back and watch them now and then come join us in this one. Today, I'm going to build on what we've already covered to give you the complete success path so that you can strengthen your resilience and feel your best at work and at home. By the end of this video, you'll have more clarity about resilience and about how everything all fits together. I'm also going to share a strategy for taking your brain to court, arguing against all of those negative thoughts that pop up in your mind. Once you use this, you will never have to worry about getting sucked down the rabbit hole of rumination again. This will help you break free of that frustration, and it's the key in helping you feel more like yourself, like you're not having to wall off parts of yourself, and you can just be you at your best every day. We've got a lot to cover today, so grab a paper and pen so you can take notes as we go along. Anytime you're trying to examine and reframe your thoughts so that you can feel better and be more productive and find more peace, it can be really hard. It's a learning curve. In the beginning, everything's new. You're learning how to deal with the negative voices in your head. You're learning how to recognize the differences between facts and stories and the reasons your brain makes them up. You're developing real-time resilience, learning to call on your skills in the moment that you need them. It's hard, and you can see that as you grow, you come up against new challenges. Even if you have some practices that support you already, you're always looking for the 80-20. You don't have time to waste, so you're always looking to find what is the 20% of your activity that really supports you in giving 80% of the results. In the last video, we did some experiments. I asked you to try at least one of 3 different activities. There was the mindful walk, gratitude in action, and a journaling exercise. What did you notice? The best way to find the things that work for you is through experimentation and reflection. Not just dabbling, but really looking at what worked, what didn't, and why. If you chose the mindful walk, it may indicate that time outdoors or time alone is restorative for you. You need time and space to unwind, relax, and reflect. So a question you should be asking yourself is, how can you carve out more moments for peace and reflection? If you chose to express gratitude out loud to another person, that might indicate that connectedness and relationships are important to you. So a question you may ask yourself is, how can I make space for social connection even when dealing with lots of priorities and a very busy schedule? If you chose to write, that may indicate that you're a person who values language and likes thinking deeply, which can be really difficult in our go, go, go culture. How would making more time for podcasts, audiobooks, and reading novels change things for you? What other things could you do to spark new ideas and find new insights? Now, it's possible that when you did one or more of these activities, you felt a little bit of frustration or irritation. I hope not, but it's possible. And if so, you can learn from that too. These responses are common symptoms of depletion, signs that you're running on empty and don't have the bandwidth for exploration. and as counterintuitive as it may feel, they indicate an even greater need for this work. No matter what activity you chose and what came up from it, there's always the opportunity to learn from it. There's always something new for you to learn about yourself. And the more you learn about yourself, well, that's the key. This is the key to making the changes that will support you. If you're like most people, you've tried a bunch of things before that didn't really work. You're not crazy or a failure or inept if you tried things and they didn't turn out right for you. They weren't right for you. That's where this exploration and reflection comes into play. The advice that you've read and tried to follow, it worked for other people. Yay! But it wasn't right for you and your life. And that's what we need to look at now. I can help you put this into practice and make it easier to implement. Let me show you how to make change that feels good. It starts by mining that which you already have and then following a path of growth. First, you've got to make the decision. You reach the point where you say, something's got to give. You're eager for relief from all of those sad stories, tired of being drowning under your to-do list and the weight of other people's expectations. You are ready to find yourself again. As you move through this stage, you'll learn a lot about emotions and their effect on behavior. You're learning more about yourself, about the way things are, and about the way they could be. Once you've made the decision, you'll build your foundation. You'll find practices and tools that support you and empower you, and you'll commit to using them. You know the work you do today will make tomorrow better, and you're learning to respond, not just react, to all of the things that are going on around you. In this stage, you'll develop a sense of the emotional pattern of your life. You'll become more aware and in tune with the responses of both your brain and your body to your experiences. There is a reason they are called feelings. Your body is talking to you all the time. And the more aware you are of the messages being sent by your brain and body, the easier it will be for you to handle the emotions and the circumstances that come your way. So after you've made the decision and built your foundation, well, then it's time to trust the process. The pieces are falling into place and you're enjoying your work more. You're feeling your impact on a deeper level and you're making stronger social connections. In this stage, you're making time for the activities that provide the deepest purpose and connection for you. You're learning to advocate for yourself, and the way people treat you is changing. And you're establishing and maintaining some amazing healthy boundaries. Small changes made daily add up to big shifts over time. And that brings you to the final stage, where you make it your own. You've reclaimed space for joy, laughter, and creativity, and you show up fully as yourself in every area of your life. By doing so, you inspire others to make the changes they need to make as well. No matter where you are on your journey, whether you're making the decision, building your foundation, trusting the process, or making it your own, there's always something new for you to learn. For today, here is one skill worth cultivating: taking your brain to court. Far too often, negative thoughts crop up in your mind. How do I know? I know because you're human. One that I hear from many clients is, I'm not good enough. It's easy to accept these thoughts as true, but are they? Let's examine the facts. First, we need to define good enough. What is good enough? What does it mean to be good enough? If a friend asked you if they were good enough at their job, how would you define it for them? It's really important to define our words so that we're not chasing after some impossible, never spelled out measurement and then berating ourselves for not reaching it. So the first step is to define good enough. Okay, so now we know what good enough looks like. Let's look at the evidence. Using the definition of good enough that you just defined, ask yourself if you measure up. In what areas of your life are you meeting the standard of good enough? List them, write them down. In what areas of your life are you falling short of the standard? Write those down too. It's tempting here to change the criteria, to hold yourself to a different standard than you would hold everyone else. But you're human, just like everyone else. There isn't a special rating system reserved just for you. When you argue your case, you will likely discover that on occasion you are not perfect. Fair enough, but the negative thought that popped up in your head was not, I'm not perfect. It was, I'm not good enough. So look at that evidence for good enough. After examining the evidence, I bet that you'll find that over and over, day by day, you absolutely are good enough. You have amazing strengths, which you often overlook because, hello, negativity bias. But by leaning into your strengths and approaching this with an attitude of curiosity and exploration, you can make the changes that matter to you. You can help yourself show up in this world just the way you want to. And you can do it with comfort and ease without berating yourself or making yourself feel bad for not measuring up to some unrealistic and unachievable standard. Rather than struggle to change, lean into change without resistance. Using the information you learned from your experiments and from taking your brain to court, what feels like the next best step for you? Begin right where you are and become a better you by becoming more you. Allow yourself to be who you truly are. Let's do a quick review of what we talked about today. When you're ready to make a change and feel better, there's a natural progression. First, you have to make the decision. And then you need to build your foundation, finding the tools and practices that support you. Once you have those, you'll trust the process and know that each time you use your tools and practices, you're moving toward greater resilience. And when those practices become just ordinary habits and routines for you, you'll have made it your own. Isn't it easier seeing how everything fits together? And doesn't it feel good knowing what you should focus on right now, regardless of where you are in your journey? Do you see how this clarity, this personal insight, can help you find greater resilience and more joy easier and faster? Now that you've got those wheels turning, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments what your first step will be. And if you found this video helpful, others will too. So share it with another pet professional on Facebook or Twitter, or send the URL. Anyone you know who could benefit, because so many pet professionals are struggling with resilience these days. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to implement what you've learned today easier and faster. If you're just starting to explore and you're trying to find the things that'll work for you, this makes it simple. And if you've tried a million different things, this plan will help you capitalize on what is already working for you and find ways around the obstacles that are currently in your way. It'll help you get back on track and reach your goals. And a common goal for pet professionals is learning how to show up at work, feel terrific, and then go home and disengage. They want to be resilient and thriving, and they want to continue making a difference without burning themselves out. So as we've been talking about all of these things, we've gotten a number of questions about unleashed resilience, and I will be answering some of those in the next video as well. In the next video, we'll talk more about the program and how you can join. We open the program just a few times a year. We do this so that it becomes a close-knit community where we can all learn together. So registration opens for just a few days, and then we close it down so that I can create space for the new members and focus on delivering content there. So if you're interested in moving forward and want to learn how, you'll want to join me in the next video, and I'll lay out all the details there. But for now, I'll leave you with this. Just by participating in this workshop, you are closer to knowing how to build the practices that sustain you. Think about video 1, where you learned about the brain's negativity bias and how you can counteract it. This training alone helps you find more breathing space and greater peace. It's amazing how simple it can be once you have the steps. And then you made big strides in video 2, where you stepped into your role as expert of your own life. You conducted experiments and analyzed the results. That's huge. The insights you gleaned will help you move forward and make the changes that matter most to you. And today you got the complete blueprint so that you can examine and reframe your thoughts for greater productivity and more peace of mind. Isn't it easier understanding how all the pieces fit together? In just a few days, you've learned so much about yourself, about the challenges of your work and the challenges of being human, and the path toward peace and contentment. And in the next video, I'll share the next step in your journey. I'm so excited about what's in store for you. I'll see you there.